Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well, especially with the corona chaos that is consuming our world. I have to confess, I have been a little disappointed in the way that I've reacted to this because I quickly am victimizing myself. And in that, I have forsaken my relationship with the Lord. So I'm going to stop giving up. I'm going to stop victimizing myself as much as possible, and I'm going to enter into this season with an anticipatory spirit, an excited spirit, and I'm going to use this downtime that, frankly, in the last week or so has been driving me insane, and I'm going to use it for the glory of God. So that's where I find myself this morning. That's where I find myself with this video, and I hope that if there's any part of you that relates to that, that you're encouraged, because I think we're all in this together, and the Lord uses little epiphanies in each one of us to bring about more in others, and so I hope that that is true. I find myself, with my Bible and my journal. If you follow me, you know that I have been quite the journaler, and I honestly, it's like, Lord, I want to engage with you. I want to dive back into some sort of depth with you that I've been lacking so far. And for me, it's been in the last few months, really. And I can tell that it's draining life when I don't have that intimacy with Jesus. But at the same time, it's like, Lord, I want these things, but I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to begin. And I think especially in this season, I assume that there are a lot of you out there who feel very similarly. You get ready to pray, you're wanting to just do something with the Lord, and then you stop because you don't even know how to start. And that is so real. I've loved Jesus for a long time, and that is so real to me even now. I consider myself a faithful disciple, and that is real to me now. And so I want to dissipate the lie that if you start falling away from Jesus, or you start giving up on your relationship, that it is not redeemable. That is a lie. The Lord is ready and waiting, and for those who seek him, they will find him. So if you are at the point in your relationship with Jesus that you try to sit down with him and you don't even know where to begin, you don't even know how to start praying because you're frustrated or you feel like you've been distant for so long, I encourage you to do these simple things because they've helped me, and I hope and pray that they help you. Once again, it has to do with journaling. If you're not a journaler, there are different creative ways that you can do this in your own way. But for me, I am usually touched by a song of some sort. Okay? So this can be, I listen to Spotify, and so if you have a worship playlist on Spotify, the very easiest thing to do is just to start playing that in the background. Listen to it as much as you can. Again, if you're feeling those barriers, you're feeling that brick wall when you're trying to relate to Jesus, that can be kind of difficult. So just listen. So then the only thing that I can do is really just write it in my journal, and I use it as a prayer, as a diving board. For starting to engage with the Lord. And so I'll just write it down. I'll be mindful of the ways that it's interacting with my spirit, interacting with my heart, the ways that it's encouraging me and affecting me, or even prompting me towards conviction, those types of things. And then I'll just kind of sit in it. And I'll just write, Lord, this is my prayer, change something in my heart. And that's it. And that's my prayer. And that's a great place to start. To go even further, I encourage you not to just rely on the words of other Christians, although they are powerful and they are so good, but the word of Scripture is infinitely more powerful because it is from the very breath of God himself. And so the next thing that I start doing is I pick a psalm and I just begin writing it down, and kind of just sit in it. I write it, and then I usually, let's see, which one is this? I wrote Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. It's a very fitting psalm for right now. It's a really well-known psalm. It's really easy to access. And so I wrote it, and then my prayer was just, Lord, let these truths sweep over me as swiftly as a rushing river. Let them wash me and make me new, Jesus. And that's my prayer, right? And then I kind of just take some time and I let the words of that psalm wash over me. A really helpful tool to do this, especially when you're feeling like you're lacking intimacy with Jesus, is interchanging words. So if it says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. Exchanging those pronouns for, you are my shepherd, I shall not want. You make me lie down in green pastures. It just makes it a lot more intimate. You lead me beside still waters. You restore my soul. And I think that has really helped me to feel that, A, the scripture is completely applicable to me, but B, these truths are for me. And they persist even now in this day and age. And I think that that's a really helpful way to begin engaging in some sort of scripture, because it's really hard, especially when you're at this point in your faith where you're just hitting walls after walls. Anyway, so I write the psalm, I usually pray a little thing, and then I'll just read it again and read it again and read it again until I kind of start believing it. And this can be a really slow process. In fact, I'm sure it has to be a slow process, but it's a great way to just start. And so I encourage you to use this time as you're quarantined, as you're, practicing social distancing, as you're engaging in the season of the world. I encourage you to not waste it. I encourage you to start addressing these things with the Lord. And if it's difficult, because this season of your life is super difficult, that's okay. The Lord can handle it. Just start. Start simply. Start with something that will help you engage. If you're not a journaler, that is totally okay. Do the exact same thing, but just read the scripture aloud. You don't have to write it anywhere. Just read it and change those pronouns. You are my shepherd. You make me lie down in green pastures. You whatever. And just read it and read it and read it until you start believing it, and keep asking the Lord to change your belief. Lord, I know that this scripture is for me, but I don't believe you. Change my heart. Help my unbelief. That's a great way to start. And if you can tell, it is cloaked in desperation. But I think that is a reality that we face, and there's no reason to be ashamed. The Lord does amazing things when we're desperate for Him. Anyway, so I hope that this is encouragement. I hope that it provides some sort of a tool for you, and that it propels you into a healthy season, especially right now in this day and age. So love you, praying for you guys, and let me know what you think with any sort of comments. I'll continue to really push myself to be active here, and especially on this platform. And so that is my vow, that is my goal in this season, and I hope that you can join me. All right, be blessed.